My wonderful, beautiful, amazing Virgos. We're practically about 1 week away from your beautiful birthday season before August 23rd. Wow, how time flies, doesn't it? But anyway, I'm Gabriella from Gabriella's Vampire Tarot. For today, I'm going to be doing your general love reading, your 5 card spread. But before I do that, I want to offer these 12 red roses as a token of my love and appreciation for your love, support, and devotion towards my channel and even joining me today. So thank you all so very much for being here. So this 5 card love reading includes where the 5 cards, or the first card represents you, the second, the other person, the third, the relationship, the fourth, the past, and the fifth, the future. Then I'm going to draw a special vampire card, a vampire oracle for you, then a favole, and then finish off with French tarot, a card from Le Tarot Interdit Vampiria. But let's get started with card number 1, which is Lovers, Gemini energy. You could personally have Gemini placements, or your current spouse, your companion could definitely be a Gemini as well. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting actual mixed senses here. For the ones in a long-term committed relationship, fabulous, you get lovers. You're in a long-lasting committed, maybe you just got engaged or married and stuff like that, so hopefully many reminiscing anniversaries to come in many years and stuff like that. But for the ones who are single, it looks like that you're also in the phase of being at a crossroads, of having at least the luxury to choose who you want to currently head towards in other ways. But you could also be at a crossroads of thinking, do I want to head off towards love, or my own personal endeavors and goals for that matter as well. But again, taking how this reading resonates, it is general, so it's not directed at any person specifically for that matter. But that's kind of what the card more or less has for you today. Because who the other person could be or is. 4 of Wands, happy home, happy hearth, happy family. So if you're in a long-term committed relationship, congratulations on achieving this beautiful goal of being in a long-lasting committed loving marriage, what have you, whatever, any kind of, state or status you could be in other ways. So congratulations on this beautiful achievement. But you could also maybe be with an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius as well. But if you're in a single position where you still haven't found your 100% life partner, your companion for that matter, you could still have so much confidence within you and even be creating your own happy home, happy hearth, happy family in your own way, where you pretty much just think, I don't need to be with other people. I currently love my current situation. You could be, incredibly rich and successful. Maybe you love your independence. Maybe you just love creating your own home of whatever it may be and think, I just love being in this situation. Or maybe you currently have pets who you consider your family in other ways. But either way, that's kind of what I have for the other person who could be or is in other ways, or even for your other self as well. Relationship. Oh, 5 of Swords. It looks like that you're the one that won over this person's heart. Fabulous. I love to see that. Because the 5 of Swords is definitely like some kind of combat card. It's not like the 5 of Wands, which is all about sparring and having all kinds of problems and stuff. No. You put time and effort into achieving this beautiful desired goal because, you were incredibly tenacious and you pretty much just had this passionate drive within you to think, I'm just not going to give up on what I want, wish, dream, and desire in other ways because sometimes, whatever worth having doesn't come easy, but as long as you keep at it and stuff like that, then eventually something of maybe, what you truly want, wish, and dream, and desire, of course, of something of equal or greater value as well showed up for you. And that's what I kind of saw with the 5 of Swords. Wow. And of course, for the ones who are in a single position, you could still be incredibly, determined on, creating your own sense of security in other ways to say, I don't need to be with anybody right now because I want to actually fight for myself and actually care for myself because I have confidence as well. Because in the past, you got King of Pentacles. My goodness, this is Lord of Skulls energy, and what this is all about is that this was practically you of which direction it was leading you towards, whether it's with your current spouse, companion, whoever you're currently with. But it could also be that nothing was ever going to stop you in your tracks on achieving that beautiful desired goal or outcome because you put a lot of time and effort. The storms were never going to stop you in any way to achieve wherever you were heading off towards in the past. So, if you've achieved that beautiful desired goal or outcome in current times, because you just didn't give up on it. and that was you in the past. And even, for the single ones in this reading, it's like nothing will ever stop you in your path on achieving that desired goal of whatever it may be in other ways. The future, though, I'm kind of worried. I mean, you could also still end up with an Aquarius, Libra, or maybe you're currently still with a Gemini. But I'm kind of potentially seeing heartbreak. It doesn't mean it is a direct breakup or divorce for that matter, but heartbreak is still, I mean, it's interesting because these are actually 2 out of the 3 cards I pulled for the vampire, because it was actually, it was lovers, then I actually got 3 of swords, and then death afterwards. But anyway, I'm wondering, why this love could potentially lead to heartbreak. And the thing is, there's no such thing as a perfect relationship in any way, because, perfection doesn't exist. I know a lot of humans, they pretty much just consider, their, their own standards, a sense of perfection and a sense of completion. So 100% their prerogative, and even your prerogative on how you, will see perfection in other ways. But 3 of Swords is a potential problem that could happen, but it doesn't, it's, like with any kind of tarot readings, there's no 100% guarantee whether or not it will happen or not, but this is something to potentially look at for any kind of potential outcome for that matter. Because Oracle wants to say rebellion, upstart, tumult, or revolution. Well, the problem with any kind of like a tumultuous situation, that could potentially lead to heartbreak. Now, I'm just wondering, if you're in a long-term committed relationship and you started adding more family members, like you started conceiving your own fledglings and stuff like that, that could always be like a tumultuous situation, or even an upstart or revolution that could potentially, maybe cause a bit of, some waves in the sense where you have to suddenly, manage, not only your own jobs, your own affairs, your own romantic connections, stuff like that. Now, this is pretty much just thinking, okay, it's like any kind of new additions for that matter is always kind of a bit of an uncertain case. I mean, a lot of humans are managing quite well with having fledglings and newcomers and stuff like that, what have you, or any kind of upstarts for that matter. But you might want to look into seeing if there's any kind of potential tumultuous situation that is pretty much on the rise between you and your current spouse or loved one. But it could also be that you could also potentially be facing any kind of tumultuous situation coming up real soon, and maybe that could also be because of the heartbreak, or could result in heartbreak as well. Because Favole wants to add 2 of Masks, like 2 of Wands. No, there's definitely going to be some kind of journey or movement that's going to be taking place in your future. Now, I can't say when, where, how, of course. I mean, this is a fire card. This could still be taking place during Leo season. This could be potentially taking place during Sagittarius around November, December, or Aries between March and April for that matter as well. But I do see some kind of traveling and movement taking place. So maybe, it's like, I can't say when, where, how, or if this will resonate, but there's definitely going to be some kind of traveling. Maybe you're going to be moving away temporarily, and maybe that's what's going to be causing the tumultuous situation because of this potential heartbreak in other ways. Or maybe the other person could be moving out in other ways, but the 2 of Wands is definitely some kind of journeys card in other ways. Because to finish off with the French Tarot deck, you get 7 of Cups, also known as Sept de Miroir. Well, the thing is, what I see for you is you're definitely going to be offered options and opportunities because you already received that at the start of this reading. So there's definitely going to be 7 of Cups and Lovers for you to choose from. But maybe, it's like all of this, a revolution of some kind. Maybe, if you're in a position of thinking, okay, I'm in a position where I can actually call the shots based off of any kind of romantic relationship for that matter. That could also be what could be, caused from the 3 of Swords, where you're finally going to be saying, I'm not going to allow myself or my heart to be broken anymore. Now I'm finally going to be putting a stance and stuff like that. And that could also be a rebellious act where you're not going to be putting up with other people's negativity, their anger, frustrations, or drama for that matter as well, because you're going to be heading out into this world looking for alternative options as well. Because with any kind of like upstart and stuff like that, or tumultuous situation, something needs to happen for especially anything negative to happen for any kind of revolution to commence, or any kind of a rebellious act, you know, to take place. Because let's say that you actually had your heart broken, or you could be getting your heart broken. A lot of people will either, you know, will walk off and say, I'm done with you. I'm not going to be dealing with you anymore. I was supposed to be your true love. So I'm just going to take off and I'm going to find other options because I already had many eyes focused on me and a crossroads and stuff like that. So I'm just going to be rebellious and take off. But it could also be, you know, like, you know, I mean, I hope you're not the one who could potentially be causing heartbreak in other ways, where it could also cause the other person to take off and find other options as well. So you might really want to look into this love reading. I mean, if it does resonate, or even come near resonation for that matter. But anyway, I'm going to have to leave it at this for now. But if this reading did resonate, please feel free to join us, subscribe to my channel. I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. I love you guys incredibly. We're practically about a week away from your beautiful birthday season. Wonderful. Think about all what you want, wish, dream, and desire, of course. But anyway, I love you guys. In a few days, I'm going back to general reading. So for now, I'm just doing love in general. If you're interested in a personal reading, I do have this link on my YouTube page about the different types of prices for my personal readings. So all you have to do is subscribe to this channel and post in a little discussion box that you want a personal reading from a vampire. Otherwise, I love you guys incredibly. And again, thank you so much for joining me today.